I can't believe I'm playing this. I can't believe, after what seems like a lifetime, this game is on the verge of release. 23 years ago, Final Fantasy VII released on the PS1. I was 4 years old. At the time, I thought it was just some weird RPG game from Japan where I played as some purple dude with massive hair and an even massiver sword. I've played it a few times over the years, with my first time actually finishing it not being until 2013. I'm also not ashamed to admit I still have the original case and discs from when I was a kid, and I display it proudly next to me on my desk. Fans have been craving a modern day remake of FF7 since they teased us with that PS3 tech demo back in 2005. How cruel were the bastards showing us the technology of an unreleased console by remaking the intro to one of the most beloved games of all time. If Cloud jumping off of that train didn't hype you up for the PS3 and what next-gen graphics truly meant, I don't know what to tell you. I feel like every E3 for the last 10 years has had people in the crowd holding their breath for any sort of mention of FF7. It's a game which has seemingly defined a generation. Then, E3 2015 rolls around. Adam Boyes is on stage hanging out, a trailer for World of Final Fantasy finishes up playing behind him, and a pattern similar to the live stream appears on the same screen. He starts off by saying,
"Now, many years ago, Square Enix released a groundbreaking title that went on to become one of the most beloved games in PlayStation and video game history."
And immediately the crowd knows what's happening. They jump into a trailer, familiar landmarks appear, and the crowd and viewers at home all collectively lose their shit. Midgar looks insane. We pan down to an alleyway in the slums and we see Barrett and Cloud walking down the alley. Please don't be a movie. Please don't be a 4K re-release of the original is what everyone is thinking. Cut to black, FF7 logo, and boom, the word remake appears on screen. I remember sitting on the couch thinking there's no way this was actually going to happen, and if by some miracle it were, it wouldn't be seen for another 6 or 7 years. And while I was off the mark a little bit, 5 years later, the FF7 remake is about to release. Well, at least part 1 is. For those who played the original, you'll know that it came on 3 discs, which at the time was a pretty big deal, with the first disc taking place entirely within the city of Midgar, and the following discs branching off to other locations. I don't want to say too much, because for the few of you out there who didn't play the original game, I do want you to experience everything firsthand, so if you are one of those who didn't get around to playing it, just know that you're in for one hell of a ride. And wait, because they still haven't confirmed when the next parts of the remake will be coming. Anyway, the demo released a few days ago, and it gives everyone with a PS4 at least the opportunity to check out the first mission of the game. And my god, has it exceeded every expectation I had. I knew I'd be buying this game regardless of reviews or what the consensus was online, but after playing this demo, I cannot wait. I sat on the main menu for about 5 minutes with an embarrassingly large smile on my face, just listening to that original theme music again. I've played through it twice and can say that while I was initially skeptical of the change from turn-based to a more action-based RPG, those concerns have been completely nullified, and anything I was concerned about with the combat is irrelevant. It's fluid, with the animation and effects absolutely blowing me away. You take control of your character. In the demo you play as Cloud and Barrett and choose the attacks you're wanting to use in real time. Triangle uses your character's special ability. Cloud's ability allows him to change between 2 different stances with differing pros and cons. By default he is in operator mode, which provides faster movement and more balanced attacks. Switching to Punisher mode makes his attacks more deadly, but he moves much slower and is more open to ranged attacks. Barrett's special ability is called Overcharge and turns his standard Gatling gun into a heavy-hitting, damage-dealing cannon, which takes time to recharge. You can switch between characters while in combat, or using the command menu and ATB gauge, simply request an attack item, spell, or limit break. You do also have the option of hotkeying specific actions similar to Kingdom Hearts, so you're able to pop a quick cure spell or use an ether when you need. They've also included Classic mode, which I didn't try, but it's basically an autopilot mode where your main focus is using your abilities and items whenever your ATB gauge fills. You are also able to take control of the action at any time while playing in Classic mode, so it seems like more of a casual way to play the game. Even though this is only a minuscule slice, going through a level I've done countless times growing up was the most nostalgic yet fresh experience I've had in a game. It's weird going through an environment I thought I knew so well, but with a fresh coat of paint and new layout, it had just the right amount of exploration. It's like if you were to go back to your childhood home, except the new owners have put in a new kitchen and replaced the carpet, but you still know your way around. As you can see, the game is beautiful. I've seen footage of the game on a PS4 Pro running in 4K, and that was just jaw-dropping stuff. While it's hard to believe by looking back at the original FF7, Square Enix were known for pushing the boundaries on graphics and fidelity, especially with the cutscenes, and I'm happy to say that this is no exception. Particle effects and lighting are top-notch, with the animations, like I mentioned earlier, being absolutely stunning. The UI originally put me off while watching the earlier trailers, but it's definitely an ease of use thing, and was very easy to pick up and understand. Voice acting is, well, it's a JRPG. You know what you're getting with the English voiceover. A lot of random grunts and sighs, but you can tell the actors are into the script. And even though Cloud is being voiced by a new actor after almost 17 years, the new guy's doing a pretty good job. Speaking of voice actors, FF7 birthed my favorite villain of all time, Sephiroth. And the iconic voice George Newbern has provided will no longer be gracing our ear holes. And this one stings a little, but we haven't had a whole lot of footage of Sephiroth come out just yet, and he is a much more prominent figure in the game after the events in Midgar, so perhaps the new actor will surprise us all and be almost as good as Newbern. If you haven't given the demo a go, you've got just under a month to go until the full game drops. I'd suggest jumping in if you're still on the fence about the remake, and especially if you've played the original. I've only played a few of the Final Fantasy games, so I can't comment on how it compares to some of the newer entries. I mean, I did try 15, but it just didn't hook me in. Chances are, if you are interested in picking the game up, you will have already played the demo, so for everyone else it's like 8 gigs, where's the harm in that? The demo has been great for me. It's solidified my purchase and has given me 100% faith in the experience I'm going to get from the full game. I am still a little worried about when we'll see the next part or parts of the FF7 remake, and can only hope that we don't need to wait another 17 years. Remakes are becoming more and more popular. Maybe it's because of the developers all growing up playing these games and wanting to see them all looking all high-tech and more pixels and one pore on Cloud's face than his entire body was made up of in 1997. Maybe it's Square Enix finally succumbing to the cries of the fans for the last 15 years and hitting the emergency money-making button, or maybe it's just because some of the titles deserve it. The 10th of April cannot come soon enough, and I'll be sure to put up a new video with my thoughts on the game once I've managed to process it all. Thanks for watching, hit the like and sub buttons if you want, comment down below what you thought of the demo, and I'll see you next time.